Ever wondered where the grand spectacle of football we know as the World Cup started? Well, let's travel back in time to the year 1930. The world was a vastly different place, but the universal language of football was already bringing nations together. The birthplace of this remarkable tournament was the small South American nation of Uruguay. The inaugural World Cup featured 13 teams looking to etch their names in the annals of football history. Against all odds, it was the host nation, Uruguay, that emerged victorious, claiming the first World Cup on home soil. The nation was jubilant. Their team had not only hosted an incredible tournament, but had also won it. This victory set a precedent, creating an atmosphere of intense competition and national pride that would define the World Cup in the years to come. Fast forward 4 years to 1934, and the World Cup found a new home in Italy. The tournament was growing, gaining more recognition, and attracting more teams. The world watched in anticipation as the teams battled for supremacy on Italian soil. And when the dust settled, it was the hosts, Italy, standing tall. They claimed the World Cup, defeating Czechoslovakia in the final, and writing their own chapter in football history. These first two tournaments set the stage for what was to come. They demonstrated that football was more than just a game. It was a spectacle that could bring nations together, incite passionate competition, and create heroes and legends. Little did the world know, these were just the first steps in the journey of the World Cup, a tournament which was about to become the most prestigious football event on the planet. With the stage set, the World Cup was on its way to becoming the most prestigious football tournament. The world was watching, waiting for the next edition, ready to witness more history being made in this grand spectacle of football. The World Cup quickly gained momentum, showcasing unforgettable moments and legendary players. The pre-modern era of the World Cup, spanning from 1938 to 1970, was a time of intense competition and remarkable talent. In 1938, France played host to the World Cup, where Italy, under the guidance of Vittorio Pozzo, successfully defended their title, defeating Hungary in the final. Their dominance was a testament to the team's strength and determination. However, the world was soon engulfed in the throes of World War II, causing a 12-year hiatus in the tournament. It was not until 1950 in Brazil that the World Cup resumed. In a stunning turn of events, Uruguay claimed their second title, beating the hosts in a match famously known as Maracanazo. The following tournament saw the rise of new football powerhouses. In 1954, West Germany clinched their first title by overcoming Hungary in the Swiss-hosted tournament. Then, in 1958, a young and prodigious Pelé led Brazil to their first ever World Cup victory in Sweden, marking the beginning of Brazil's reign in international football. 1962 in Chile and 1970 in Mexico saw Brazil securing their second and third titles respectively, with Pelé once again leading the team to victory in Mexico. Their unique style of play, dubbed samba football, mesmerized fans around the globe. In contrast, the 1966 tournament held in England was marked by a more tactical approach to the game. England emerged victorious on home soil, defeating West Germany in a memorable final at Wembley Stadium. The pre-modern era of the World Cup was a period of evolution and innovation. The tournament not only showcased the highest level of football, but also reflected the changing global landscape. It was during this time that the World Cup truly became the global spectacle it is today. As the tournament grew, it began to shape modern football. From the 70s onward, the World Cup entered a new era. The tournament of 1974, held in West Germany, saw the host nation claim their second title by defeating the Netherlands. This was the decade that marked the rise of Argentina, a football powerhouse that would make its mark in the annals of the sport. 4 years later in Argentina, the hosts won their first title, triumphing over the Netherlands in the final. As the 80s dawned, the World Cup was held in Spain, with Italy securing their third title by defeating West Germany. The tournament of 1986, however, belonged to Argentina, led by the legendary Diego Maradona. His extraordinary skill and charisma managed to outshine every other player on the field, leading Argentina to a victory against West Germany in the final and securing their second title. As we moved into the 90s, the World Cup returned to Italy in 1990. This time, it was West Germany who emerged victorious, claiming their third title by defeating Argentina in a twist of fate from the previous tournament. But the true story of the 90s was the unstoppable rise of Brazil, a nation that had always been synonymous with football. The United States hosted the tournament in 1994, and it was here that Brazil secured their fourth title by defeating Italy in a nail-biting penalty shootout. Throughout this era, the World Cup saw an increase in participating teams, with more nations eager to compete on the global stage. This expansion of the tournament reflected the growing popularity of the game, transcending borders and cultures. The 70s to the 90s were decades that saw the rise of new footballing nations, the continued success of established powerhouses like Brazil and West Germany, and the unforgettable performances of footballing legends. Football was truly becoming a global sport, with more countries eager to host and compete. This era not only expanded the reach of the World Cup, but also solidified its place as the pinnacle of international football, a stage where legends are made and dreams come true. With the dawn of the new millennium, the World Cup saw more diversity in its champions. As we journeyed into the year 2000, France, the host nation, won their first title, outplaying Brazil in the final held at the Stade de France in Paris. This victory marked the beginning of the new millennium, setting the stage for a series of unforgettable tournaments. Next, we traveled to Asia for the first time in the history of the World Cup. Held in South Korea and Japan in 2002, the tournament saw Brazil take home their fifth title, defeating Germany in the final held in Yokohama, Japan. This victory reinforced Brazil as a force to reckon with in the world of football. The year 2006 took us to Germany, where Italy snatched their fourth title in a nail-biting final against France in Berlin. The Italians, known for their defensive prowess, showcased a masterclass in football, proving that they still had the magic touch. Fast forward to 2010, the World Cup traveled to the African continent for the first time, with South Africa playing the gracious host. This tournament witnessed Spain, the masters of tiki-taka football, win their first ever World Cup title, defeating the Netherlands in the final held in Johannesburg. The Spanish victory was a testament to their sheer dominance in world football. Then came 2014, hosted by Brazil, a nation synonymous with football. However, it was Germany who stole the show, winning their fourth title by defeating Argentina in the final held in Rio de Janeiro. The Germans displayed a level of efficiency and teamwork that was nothing short of remarkable. Throughout this period, the World Cup not only showcased the highest level of football, but also brought together people from all walks of life, uniting them under the banner of this beautiful game. Football had become more than a sport, it was now a global phenomenon. The most recent World Cups have given us moments that will be remembered for generations. The 2018 championship held in Russia, for instance, was a spectacle that football fans around the globe will not easily forget. France, under the leadership of Didier Deschamps, secured their second World Cup title, 20 years after their first win on home soil. The French team, brimming with young talents such as Kylian Mbappé and Antoine Griezmann, outplayed Croatia in a thrilling final, held in Moscow. But the World Cup is not just about the winners. It's about the collective experience, the shared anticipation, the moments of triumph and defeat. It's about the stories that unfold on the pitch, the narratives that are woven throughout the tournament. Each World Cup writes a new chapter in the story of football, adding to the rich tapestry of the beautiful game. And now, as we stand on the threshold of the 2022 World Cup, the anticipation is palpable. The tournament, which will be hosted by Qatar, is set to be another landmark event in the history of football. For the first time in World Cup history, the tournament will take place in November and December, a departure from the traditional June and July schedule. This change has been made to avoid the intense summer heat of the Middle East, and it's just one of the many ways in which the World Cup continues to evolve. The teams, the players, the fans, everyone is gearing up for another thrilling ride. Who will emerge victorious? Which players will become household names? Which moments will we be talking about for years to come? These questions and many more will be answered in due course. As we look forward to the future, one thing is certain: the World Cup will continue to captivate us with its magic.